Yeah, I got money on my phone and money on me. I got all these hoes, but still lonely. They been blowing on that strong, but still so weak. I've been hiding a drone, but still low-key. We been sitting on the floor, they in the nosebleeds. Lately I've been in control, they can't control me. Yeah, they about to get exposed for being so cheap. I've been sticking to the code and I ain't gon' cheat. Yo, grew my hair and took the grill out. Think it's time to put it back in. Trying to get into that big house, turn the crib into the mansion. Needed something with that big bounce. You know I had to hit Jackson. Aaron Rodgers with the quick routes. How with the gang we packing? We on the field at Lambo. Might peel in a Lambo. Running drills in my camo. They know what the M stand for. Still got fam in Hawaii, yeah. Couple fans in the lobby, yeah. Couple grand in my pocket, yeah. Couple grams of wasabi, yeah. Eye it up, no glasses. Light it up, no matches. Wife it up, no ratchets. Might turn my wife to an actress. And we gon' make a movie, no Kim K. Give a fuck about what your friends say. I got money on my phone and money on me. I got all these hoes, but still lonely. They been blowing on that strong, but still so weak. I've been hiding a drone, but still low-key. We been sitting on the floor, they in the nosebleeds. Lately I've been in control, they can't control me. Yeah, they about to get exposed for being so cheap. I've been sticking to the code and I ain't gon' cheat.
I'm just sticking to the code, I keep it so G. She asked me what I smoke, I'm smoking OG. I don't fool with too many, only catch me 4 deep. Gotta stay away from snakes, swear these people so creep. I've been grinding for a minute, many labels so sleep. These rappers drop a song, be hot for about a week. I put Gucci on my toes, I keep some cold feet. I ain't paying for no hoe, you niggas know me. I'm about to body the beat. I keep me a hottie with me. She wanna for a fee. Give me that for free. Keep me some money on me. Smoking the gas key. You with me, sheesh. Benito, cheap, Keith.
I got money on my phone and money on me. I got all these hoes, but still lonely. They been blowing on that strong, but still so weak. I've been hiding a drone, but still low-key. We been sitting on the floor, they in the nosebleeds. Lately I've been in control, they can't control me. Yeah, they about to get exposed for being so cheap. I've been sticking to the code and I ain't gon' cheat.
Hop in the car, watch it go vroom, vroom. I told her mom that I blow soon, soon. Knew as a child, back in the womb. Oh, told her step back, I need my broom, vroom. Hop in the car, watch it go vroom. I'm in a whip, so I gotta zoom. They tryna talk, they not in the room. I been so real, I'm dead to the tomb. They in the way, they gotta move. I got a gas, they running on fumes. Told them way back, it's something new. It's me and damn, you gotta choose. I'm taking what's mine, I'm doing fine. Don't see the vision, they looking so blind. I hit my low, I don't got the time. Crossing my T's and they dotting those eyes. Don't take offense if I do not oblige. I can't relate but like none of these guys. They hit me once and I'm cutting the ties. I was so low but I'm back on the rise, it's real. Hop in the car, watch it go vroom, vroom. I told her mom that I blow soon, soon. Knew as a child, back in the womb. Oh, told her step back, I need my broom, vroom. Hop in the car, watch it go vroom. I'm hopping now I gotta go. I'm looking back, they not even close. I had a 4, now I need a ghost. I got a wave like I'm on the coast. Same ones are down and I dare to show. So way that I'm ballin', they think I'm a pro. I'm getting sick by the money I gross. They saying whoa, I told them all what this is. I told them all I don't miss. Said it's my time, look at this shit on my wrist. And when they shooting this brace, I'm going in a new gig, gotta shift. I cannot stick to the script, I cannot wait. Watch how I get it and flip. It's just how I'm doing this shit and I'm gone. Just how I'm doing this shit and I'm gone. Ayy, just how I'm doing this shit and I'm gone.
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Ayy, on the road, here we go, here we go. Yeah, we winning.
winning by a landslide. Never see me coming, I'm a landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command like. Yeah, you about to see me on demand like. You know on demand. If you ain't know, you about to understand. Yeah, I got the team by my side, right hand. Yeah, take it to a string, you ain't seen it like that. Yeah, and it's the dream, and we coming for the bag. Yeah, and we ain't never going back now. Future expedited, now we on the fast track now. They won't lend a hand, now they see us on the map now. It's time to act out. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Hey, on the road, here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll. Hey, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Yeah, on the road, here we go, here we go. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Hey, on the roll, here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll. Hey, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Yeah, on the roll, here we go, here we go. Here we go. On a roll, here we go, here we go.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Frankie Candles live stream every single weekday right here at 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Mafia, we got the continuation down. We are approaching some key levels of support. We do have our not macro, but our current value area low sitting just below us here in confluence with a key golden pocket. And we also do have one more level of confluence underneath us that we really do not want to lose as we continue the pullback from the fake out of the all-time high. Are we going to continue down here, guys? Are we going to be able to break structure to the downside and break down into those $111 to $110 to $109 to $108,000 levels, or are we going to be able to hold support here? Well, I'm going to break it all down on today's live stream. So thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate every single one of you guys. Shout out to Derelict, said dump it. Those stop signs made me think that my audio was very quiet or muted. But shout out to Derelict. Welcome in. Let's see who we got in here today. We got It's Happening. It's Happening. Oh my God. Shout out to It's Happening. Welcome in. Says value area low, value area low. What is going on, man? Welcome in. We got Hodl Crypto in the chat. Always good to see you. He says, paw the likes. If you are not a human being, make sure you smack that like button with your paw. Every 100 likes we get gives you guys some extra chances to win some free crypto. And we are going to be giving those away tonight. We have 10 bags of Cardano. If we get 1,000 likes on tonight's live stream, we'll give away $250 in Solana. So smash that like button. We got Juice World for Life. What is going on, man? Welcome in. He says, GM. I don't know where he's coming in from if it's the morning. Shout out to Juice World for Life. Welcome in. We got New Earth Guardian in the chat. Said top of the descending channel at 115K. Shout out to New Earth. I guess we'll take a look at that. I don't know what you're looking at up there. Oh, maybe liquidity. Let's see. We got Jesse in the chat. Our like police. Welcome in, Jesse. Thank you for being here. Hopefully, you're still getting that speedy recovery that we're hoping for, as well as Captain Kirk in the chat, guys. Show our mod some love in the chat. Tony D is traveling today, so I am probably going to have to do the giveaways in the old school way where we have to pick out the comments. So, yeah, we're going to have to figure that out. Hopefully, we don't have to push it to next week. I'm going to try to do them for you guys today. I hate pushing them back unless we absolutely have to. What do we think of ADA holding strong through this correction? Shout out to He's Z. Shout out to you, man. We're going to take a look at Cardano, so don't worry. We'll take a look at Ethereum, Solana. We'll take a look at some of the altcoins. I'm not going to spend a ton of time on, like, every altcoin today. We do have to get to the giveaway, so it might be a little bit quicker here. You guys know the spiel. Short stream. We're going to wind up going for 2 hours. But I am not really going to focus on the altcoins too much today. We'll take a look at some, key alts that we have to keep an eye on. But I'm not gonna probably run through more than like maybe 5 or 6 of them. And then we'll jump into the giveaways. We got Al Jr. in the chat. Jason Chua. What is going on? Said, let's hit that like button, or let's go hit that like button. Shout out to Jason. Thank you for saying that, bro. We got Darren Dustings in the chat. Said, bring back the wheel of scams. Shout out to Darren. I think we should bring back the Wheel of Scams. We might bring back a digital wheel very, very soon here. And I don't know. We've been thinking about maybe starting a new segment or maybe even a new show where it might have something to do with a wheel. I don't want to say too much because we're still developing here. But we may be bringing back the wheel at some point, guys. But let's see here. Shout out to Darren. Love your stream, bro. Shout out to He's. Thank you, bro. I appreciate you so much. I'm just up here doing what I love, man. And we appreciate you for being here. And we already know you hit that like button. Let's go. All right, so, guys, we got a lot to look at here on the chart. Shout out to Humble Servant. What is going on? Said flux, flux, flux. Should say that slower next time. Dang. All right, but let's see. We got regular guy trades. What is going on? He said, hit that like button so I can win a hat. Yeah, if we get 550 likes, guys, we'll give away 3 hats. If we get 1,000 likes, $250 in Solana. And if we get nothing, if we get 0 likes, well, we'll just give away 10 bags of Veda. Those are already locked in. But yeah, let's go ahead and continue on. CandleMafia's John Cena. What is going on? The Wheel of Pain and Fortune. Let's go. Shout out to CandleMafia's John Cena. And last but not least, guys, we got Rob. Not the crypto snob, but we do have Rob. And Nikki94 Boo says, LFG, smash that like button for Frankie Sauce. Shout out to Nikki94 Boo. Welcome in. Always happy to have you in here. And without further ado, guys, as we are approaching key support and potentially looking to get a bounce here, let's go ahead and break down. Jump into the charts. Let's get into it. Guys, yesterday was a rough stream for me. I was like a little sleep deprived. I feel a little better today, but I think I still just threw my whole week, the rest of my week off with staying up till 3 a.m. to enter my short position. But let's go ahead and jump on into the charts. Let's get into it. All right, so here we are, guys. And obviously, we did get the infamous fake out of the all-time high. Thunder. Q Thunder. But obviously, we got that failed auction here, guys. We got the wick above. Tried to stay above here. We lost the previous all-time high, and then we lost that daily MPOC, letting the premium Discord know, hey, if we lose this MPOC, guys, I said I would very likely be asleep if that happened, but I was awake in bed. Mrs. Candle's like trying to sleep while I'm tossing and turning, trying to look at the charts. But we lost that daily MPOC, guys. I did take that short position. I am still holding that short position over here on Femex, pretty much in the exact same spot we were yesterday. Got the $1,000 locked in, still unrealized $1,000. So I'm going to continue to hold this. I don't really have a ton. Oh, you guys can't see it. I don't really have a ton left in this trade. It's a $27,000 position, so pretty small position, but I am going to hold that in case we do continue down. But I already have those profits locked in, so very nice. I am also holding a long position from lower here, so I am still holding a long. Profits locked in, stop loss to break even, and the short, same situation here. So I am going to hold both of these trades. But as we approach here, guys, if you remember to yesterday's live stream, we were looking at some key levels here. We had our, not only our current volume profile, which you guys just saw there on the chart, but we also had our previous volume profile. And you guys can see here, this is a level. This is a level, guys. And we are approaching our biggest level of support that we were looking at yesterday and for the past few days, where we have the daily MPOC, the weekly MPOC, a daily horizontal, and the current value area low, guys. And, we looked yesterday at the charts here. As we were getting this bounce to the upside, we did have a little scalp long position in the premium Discord, but letting them all know, hey, guys, and we even looked at this on the live stream, we are going to be on the lookout for lower highs and lower lows to come. And what was that based off of? We were looking for that break of structure to the downside here to crack this low at about 117.2. Now, why were we anticipating that, guys? Well, we had the daily red dot looking to print here on the chart, on the daily time frame, because that's where daily red dots pop up. And we also had our 90-minute money flow coming to the downside at the same time here, indicating that any of those bounces to the upside would very likely be a lackluster retracement to put in the lower high and then continue down to lower prices, specifically breaking structure to the downside, which we have seen play out here. And right now, guys, we are very close to pushing into this key level of support, which still does remain the same here, where we have our daily, weekly MPOCs, our value area low, our our daily horizontal, and our Fibonacci retracement pulled from the low all the way to the high. So this is kind of like a macro golden pocket here, giving us that beautiful level of support. Now, the question is, are we going to bounce from this value area low, golden pocket, double MPOC, daily level, or are we going to wind up bouncing off of our previous range value area low, where we do technically have support here? And I will say, guys, there is a chance, in my opinion, of a bounce here. If we start to look at Market Cypher B, you guys will understand why. But, just from a simple perspective here, you technically do have the deviation below your value area low, and then we are potentially trying to reclaim it. So, could you bounce here? Potentially. I am not as interested in a big bounce from this level. Doesn't mean it can't happen. If it does happen, guys, I am holding my long from lower. I'm not going to open a new position here just because, when we start to look at market cipher, you'll understand why. I am going to be on the lookout for lower highs and lower lows, and if we don't just come up to put in a lower high and a lower low, it's just the idea that we have this big confluent level of support, right? We have the daily, the weekly, the daily MPOC, the weekly MPOC, the daily horizontal. Oftentimes, guys, and that golden pocket as well. Oftentimes when you have these big key levels down here, more often than not, they will get tapped. Now, it doesn't mean you can't front run this level and come up from here. But again, based off money flow, I am going to be looking for lower highs and lower lows. And at the end of the day, I would just prefer to push into this bigger level of support. If I was not holding longs from lower, I probably would be a little bit more interested in taking a stab at this position. But I am personally not taking a position here. If I miss it, it's fine. My long from lower will continue to pay me out. But with this key support down below, again, golden pocket, all these confluences down here, more often than not, they do end up getting tapped. So I am going to see if we can get that. So just be aware, this level does sit between about 116.6. Let me go ahead and draw it out. 116.7 at that golden pocket after making the new all-time high. So this has moved slightly. It is sitting at 116.6 all the way down to about 116.344. The bottom of this level did move up a little bit as well because the golden pocket shifted up as we put in that new all-time high. And yeah, I mean, this is going to be that next big level, guys. Like if we're going to look for a higher low and a potential bigger breakout here, that golden pocket might be something to look for. And I'll be honest, I am not necessarily going to just instantly expect a new all-time high from this level if we do get the bigger bounce. We're going to take a look at the higher time frames. You guys will understand why. We'll take a look at that money flow. You'll understand why. But just for what it's worth, this is our next big key level of support. If we do not bounce from the local value area low that we're tapping right now, I will be looking down towards that level. Now, if we lose this level, is it all over? Are we going to 110K? I wouldn't necessarily say so. This is not the last level on the chart. I would say the line in the sand here locally is going to be the 786 Fibonacci retracement between the 786 and the daily here, sitting between 114,589 and about 114,069, 114K. If we're going to be looking for those Fibonacci retracements, the first place to look to bounce is that golden pocket. If we do get the bounce here, hopefully that's the higher low and we can continue up. Again, we are going to have some resistance to break through here, so I'm not saying that you have to Lambo candle up from this level, but that is the next biggest level I will be looking at for some kind of a bounce. And then if we do get a break of this level, maybe we get a bounce, a little bit of a lower high, and then we start losing this volume profile, guys. All eyes on that 786 daily sitting between 114.6 and 114.69. If we lose this zone, guys, this is where I am going to say it might be more likely to get the lower low here on the higher time frames. And this, if you've been watching the channel for any amount of time, you will know we have been looking at this potential possibility. I'll pull up a clean chart here. Actually, this is perfect. When we look at this, right, we have the Fibonacci golden pocket 786 pulled from the high all the way to the low. You guys all know when you're looking for potential high, low, lower high, lower low to break structure to the downside here, cracking below 111.8. This is the zone to put in that lower high. And obviously, every time you get above this level, it opens up the doorway to higher prices, or in this case, all-time highs. We did take out that all-time high, but after seeing that failed auction, guys, if we pull up the weekly time frame, you can see our weekly candle is now below that golden pocket 786. So if we close this weekly candle below that 786, I would say that increases the probability of seeing that lower high come in, cracking that structure to the downside again at about 111.8. And this would put us in give us another local lower low. But is this like the end of the world? In my opinion, guys, when we take a look at the higher time frame support levels, you guys know we have this lower value area down below where we first got the bounce here at 112K. We gave these levels free on the live stream, of course. But you guys can see, we were looking at between about $112,000 and $110,000 as our big level of support. We had the structure highs here at 112K, but we were willing to see corrections potentially into that value area high at 110K. And then if we lost that 110K level, we were looking down here towards the POC, which is confluent with the golden pocket and some daily MPOCs as well. If I pop those up, you can see we have daily MPOCs in there as well. This is really the big level, in my opinion, still. So if we are going to put the high, the low, the lower high, and then the lower low in, we do still have a lot of support down here to potentially, the real question is here, guys, like, are we just going to keep cooking to the upside to put in the new all-time high, see the altcoins start to rip? Is it going to be aggressive like that, or are we going to have to endure a little bit more confusion or a little bit of effery, as I've been calling it? You're just looking for a little bit more chop before finally seeing that final move to the upside. which of course is not guaranteed, but I will be viewing the market in this way. Even if we get that bigger correction down, still have those big levels of support. We have an opportunity to hold that structure high at 112K, but if we close this weekly candle below that 786, again, the idea of the high, the low, the lower high, and the lower low is still in the cards, but it does not say bear market to me personally because we have those bigger key levels of support. It's not until we start losing 108 to 107K where I might not even necessarily be calling for the bear market, but that's where we could start to look for those lower prices and a much bigger correction to the downside. But even if we get this, guys, it would still be looked at as a breakout, a little consolidation, a retest of those range highs here before sending it back to the upside. But the question is, are we going to see something where we just kind of aggressively grind up, or are we going to have to endure a little bit more confusion here? And we've been talking about this because we still have some time for those rate cuts to come in September. And, it doesn't, we could see a lot of confusion, a little bit more consolidation, or even that bigger correction down in the meantime, right? So nothing really to be scared about at this moment. But just to give you the context here, that golden, that golden pocket 786 is the area where that lower high can come in at. So, I would say if we lose that 786 that we just brought up here, daily 786 level ending at about 114K, I think at that moment, right, because if you're going to look to hold this local trend to the upside, that 786 is the last place to hold. And then once you break down below that 786, you're pretty much going to be looking down to break that structure to the downside and come down to these bigger levels of support. So that is the big line in the sand, 114K to 114.6. And then locally, we're watching that golden pocket here on the value area low. If we don't get the bounce from where we are, hopefully we can. I do think there is a possibility to continue bouncing here. And I'll show you why on Market Cipher B. But just hyper locally here, I'm going to be personally waiting for the golden pocket weekly, daily MPOCs, daily horizontal down here between 116.7 and 116.3. And again, you might say to yourself, well, Frankie, what if we come up from here? Well, hey, my long from lower will continue to pay me out. I'm not really interested to take a new position like that on a Friday. Might have some wonky weekend price action. But if we see anything crazy happen over the weekend, I'll keep you guys updated. But that's pretty much what I'm looking at here. If we do continue up from where we are, again, lower highs and lower lows could be in the cards here, guys. When we start taking a look at some of our money flow, you can see your 1 hour money flow is starting to cross over into the red, potentially anticipating that lower high, lower low structure. POC at $118,242 is your key level of resistance here. And if we pull from the lower high to the low here, you can see we do have Fibonacci confluence there as well, sitting between 118.8 and 118,222. So just be aware this is kind of the first place I would personally be looking for a potential lower high, and then that lower low into the value area low if we come up from where we are right now. So watch that key zone of resistance. And again, if you're not looking at your Fibonacci retracements, that POC is really the level, right? Even when you sneak above it, when you lose a value area high, guys, the next likely place for price to go is the POC, and then sometimes that POC acts as a magnet, right? So you could kind of bing bong above it, back below it, back above it, right? And that's exactly what we saw yesterday. We saw that 90-minute money flow coming out. We look for the lower high and the lower low, and even though you get above that POC, it's like it does not invalidate that money flow just yet. And at this point, if you're looking at this volume profile, the anticipated place for price to go, even if you play around here, could be that lower level down here at 116 in the $116,500 zone. So yeah. As far as liquidity goes, I will say we also do have some liquidity sitting down here below the range low. Could also act as a magnet for price, right? Maybe we come down below there. To be honest, guys, I would prefer to hold the golden pocket. I can't guarantee it's going to hold. I would prefer to hold this. Can you get the bounce off the 786? Absolutely, especially with the confluence on the daily. You just have to be careful if you do wind up coming down there and losing this value area low. If you get the bounce here, you just have to be careful on the way up because based on what money flow looks like as we approach that value area low, if you have money flow coming out, you're still going to have to be looking out for lower highs and lower lows, making the value area low a very, very key level of resistance that lower high could come in at. But if you're able to flip above it, you could just look at this as a volume profile, right? So let's say, for example, if you do take a long position down here, we will be looking for longs down here depending on the confirmations that we get. But I would view that as a scalp until proven otherwise. Once you get above that value area low, you can then start to target the value area high. POC becomes your next local target or the next likely place for price to go. And then once you flip that POC, you could look to push up to that value area high. But you're just going to have to be very careful. And I would be viewing it something like this where you could just view it as a move back up to the value area low and then assess the situation as you play around with that value area low. Flip it. You could fill the whole range. And then maybe that's where you get the big bounce, right? Maybe that's where you get the push into new all-time highs. But I want to be very clear. You got to be careful around that value area low, because not only do you have the value area low, but that weekly and daily MPLC and the daily horizontal level could flip to strong resistance. So just be aware of that. But these are the three major levels that I'm looking at, or the two major levels that I'm looking at. Golden Pocket value area low, 786 daily. I already said the levels. I won't repeat them. But these are the biggest levels. Once you lose this, I am probably going to look for a break of structure to the downside to push into those bigger levels. And just to give you guys a little sauce here on those lower levels, sure, you have the value area high at 110K, but let's not forget, we do also have the daily MPOC sitting at about $111,000, right? Originally, this was kind of our big zone of support. We bounced off the top of it. Absolutely perfect. We had the long setup there in the premium Discord for a potential push into all-time highs. We did see it, but unfortunately, we got the fake out above the all-time high. And I am still holding that short, obviously, from up there as well. But now that we've tapped off that level, I'm going to drag this support zone down to the daily MPOC starting at about $111,000. So lose this, I'm probably looking down here. If we hold it, hey, be careful around that value area low, and if we reclaim, maybe send it up. So that's kind of my plan on what I'm looking at here next on Bitcoin, guys. And when we look at our market cipher here, weekly green dot is back. This has kind of been flashing. It's been disappearing, popping back up. But I think the big thing to look at this weekend, guys, is, if you're hoping for a big move up, and not looking for the bigger retracements, you got to close that weekly candle, in my opinion, above that 786, sitting at about $120,800. That is the big level, right? This is what is potentially holding us back, because this is the area where the lower high is likely to come in at. Let me pull up the weekly here. Once you reject here, right? Like the lower high is in the cards, right? Once we get back above it, right, that invalidates the idea of the lower high, and then, flip this to support. You could look up towards the new all-time highs. But if anything crazy happens, I'll keep you guys updated with a market update. Maybe even over the weekend, if we see some crazy price action over the weekend, I'll drop an update. But that is pretty much what I'm looking at as of right now. Let's see if we can get that little continued bounce off of our but previous value area low that we are, currently holding as support. Deviate below the low. As long as we stay above that value area low, maybe you can get the push up. But again, I am going to be on lower high watch. And the reason I think we could bounce here is because not only are you potentially holding this value area low, but you also have your 4-hour VWAP attempting to curve up towards that zero line here. Once we get that green dot, if we can get our 15-minute money flow to cross over into the green, well, hey, maybe you can get that little continuation up there, right? But again, lower highs and lower lows are still potentially in the cards. And if we take off from there, cool. I'll watch it go up. I'll watch my long position from lower pay me out. And, it'd be nice to hold another position from here, but I'm just not interested in taking it on a Friday. So there you go. That's what we're looking at on Bitcoin, guys. Honestly, not really too much to update here, right? From what we looked at yesterday. Key levels all pretty much remain the same. And that's why I'm not going to cover the altcoins either, because, I'm not going to cover a ton of the altcoins because a lot of the key levels remain the same of what we've been looking at recently. So I just don't want to beat the dead horse there. But we will take a look at some of the big boys. I will take some requests. We'll take a look at ADA. ADA looking strong. Shout out to Renee. We'll take a look at Cardano. We'll take a look at Ethereum. We'll take a look at XRP, Solana, and then maybe we'll take some requests. And then we got to give away some money. So there you go. Let me check in on chat here real quick. Bada boom, bada bing. Also, guys, we got Trump and Putin, I think, talking right now. So potential news, right? If we get bullish news, maybe this is the low. If we get bearish news, maybe that triggers the bigger move to the downside. Very hard to predict what's going to happen there. And that's why I just stick to the charts, right? The charts are just, chances are, if we're going to get that lower high and lower low, right, on the higher time frames here. Well, let me pull it up over here. It's a little cleaner. All right, if it is going to be this lower high, we can't get back above that 786. Maybe we get the bearish news. That would make a lot of sense. So, we'll see what happens. It's kind of hard to predict that stuff. Free liquidity now. Shout out to Jesse. Shout out to the liquidity joke is out of hand. Shout out to Jesse. Vegas call in the chat. What is going on, Vegas call? Welcome in, guys. I hope I'm not getting sick. I'm telling you right now, guys. Profit is not worth losing sleep over. I know it sounds crazy, but it really isn't, because if I get sick, I'm going to be pissed. That's, I don't know. I'm getting very coffee. I was kind of coffee yesterday, too, and we're not talking about this kind of coffee. Let's see. Arrow. Yeah, we could try to take a look at Arrow. Money. What's that? Shout out to Mike Bennett. Money. Dang, I gotta get my stack of money back over here. Excuse me. Shout out to Moboy says World War III incoming. I mean, that would definitely be a bearish black swan for sure. If we saw something crazy like that happen, I mean, guys, just to be clear here, if we saw some kind of crazy black swan like that, I would expect some kind of crazy drop to the downside. Now, another thing to keep in mind here, guys, is, if we do not confirm this green dot on the weekly, you do still technically have, right? And even on the daily that we looked at yesterday, not only were we looking at that daily red dot and the 90-minute money flow crossover to perfectly predict the lower high before the lower low, we also have this like weekly bearish divergence, which could get invalidated by this green dot. But if that green dot does not confirm and we keep pushing down over the weekend, what are we going to have here? It's going to be a weekly bearish divergence, right? Which is indication of more downside, right? And on top of that, obviously, we were looking at the daily yesterday, also saying, well, hey, what else do we have here? Higher highs on our price action now, lower highs on our momentum waves. That's also a potential daily bearish divergence. I would see this as probably 99.99999% chance that this is going to confirm here in about an hour and 48 minutes. So, there are still some bearish signs here to continue down. But if we get a black swan, I would not be expecting any of those local levels to hold up. Again, very hard to predict, but, just for what it's worth, because you mentioned it. All right, let's see. Almost time to buy the top again, boys. Shout out to Cyrus, bro. That's crazy. Up only, shout out to Jets. Let's go. I hope so, guys. I know when we take a look for the moves to the downside, it's like I am never wishing that price does not go up. I am always on the team of price going up, but if it's on the charts that we're coming down, guys, not only are we going to call for that, but we're also going to trade that and make some money on the way down, as we are. Let's see. Y'all ready for zero? Shout out to the Panda Prophet. Here we go, baby. Send it to zero. That would be insane. That would be absolutely crazy. But yeah, I would say 99.99999% chance that Bitcoin never goes to zero. But hey, that's not 100% chance. It'd be wild, though. Imagine. Michael Saylor is ready to pull the trigger at 170K. Shout out to Vegas Call. He did say that he is totally fine buying every single top because, hey, even on something like Bitcoin, buying the top every single time still winds up paying you out. Buy the top, in profit. Buy the top, in profit. Buy the top, might have to endure some pullbacks, but you will eventually wind up in profit, at least in my own personal opinion, or based off history. That will be the case, even if you bought this top back here. Oh, my God, I bought the top. Never mind, I'm in profit. Oh, my God, I bought the top. Never mind, I'm in profit. Oh, my God, I bought the top. Never mind, I'm in profit. You have to wait quite a long time, though. All right, let's see. 115K incoming. Shout out to Crypto Owl. That's what I'm waiting for. Shout out to Serge says, I really hope they're not betting on the Putin meeting as a pump or sell. Nothing is coming from that meeting. Yeah, that's, there's bullish news, bearish news, and then there's nothing burger, which does seem to be the case most of the time. But, again, I don't really pay a huge amount of attention to the news, guys, obviously. I won't go into the whole spiel, but, charts show the truth. Usually, show me the charts, I'll tell you the news every single time. But, yeah. I'm ready for alts to pull back 30 to 40%. Bitcoin dominance hits the mid-60s again in September, October. Shout out to Big Huggies. And remember, guys, when we look at the dominance continuing to attempt to break down out of this range, we have been looking at this on the 2-day saying, hey, you do have a 2-day bullish divergence on dominance here, right? Now, this doesn't necessarily mean that there's no alt season or anything, but it will very likely indicate if we get that bull div to play out and give you a bounce to the upside, it's probably going to cause a little bit more turbulence on the altcoins, right? And when we talk about altcoin season being around the corner, it does not have to happen this week, next week, 2 weeks from now, right? We could see this leak into September and beyond, right? Potentially into Q4, kind of like what we saw last time, right? We come into Q4, you get the rejection on dominance, altcoins rally, but hopefully in this case, right, Bitcoin dominance over the long term is looking much more bearish in this case, much more like a situation where you can see an actual breakdown of this range, so which would very likely cause a true alt season, and so just be aware of that, right? If you get the bounce, right, alts will probably continue to correct, right? That's some of the effery that we've been talking about, right? You could bing bong around, right? Even if we had to come down right now, I would have to lower this Fibonacci retracement. Golden Pocket, 786 POC. This could bring you up. Hey, shout out to I forgot who said that, but into the mid-60s, right? Like if you do get that full bounce, just understand, right? You could still put in a lower high, right? Bing bong around here before finally losing the range in full. But I would say from a trend perspective, this is still looking weak, and we finally are seeing that money flow crossover into the red on the 2-day. Now, this could fake back out into the green if we see that bull div play out, but overall, the money flow is still trending out here, very similar to what we saw happen last time we lost this range. Money flow comes out. You start seeing even the daily money flow starts to cross into the red. But what happens, right? You get the bounce back to the POC, right? So this could be that kind of effery that we're looking for before finally seeing that breakdown. And, it could push into, November, December, October. So it doesn't have to be right now, but I would still say Bitcoin dominance still looking pretty weak over the long term. So that would be very good, right? And then again, you have Ethereum with its fresh weekly money flow crossover into the green. Does this mean that you have to go up right this second? Absolutely not. Does it mean you have to go up tomorrow or next week? No. You could see those corrections come in, but over the long term, right? If this money flow continues up, the longer term trend would be looking for higher lows and higher highs. And while we're here on Ethereum, let's break down some key levels. Let me just make sure. Shout out to Ite says, how do you get alt season if the market nukes? Well, if the market nukes, right, alt season, I mean, it depends on when it happens, right? If we, this is all going to be tied off of, what Bitcoin is doing and what the, rate, if the rate cuts come in or not, right? So, if Bitcoin starts dumping out of nowhere, right, like obviously the altcoins are going to follow, but by just trying to, call this before it happens, right, Bitcoin dominance comes back up, right? Like this would obviously cause turbulence on your altcoins. But if Bitcoin just like starts dumping, right? Like the alts are very, very likely to follow. This is what we see happen time and time again. But that would not be the hope, right? If Bitcoin dumps down to, say, our key levels down to like 107, 108K, right? Like that would obviously translate into altcoins as well. But that does not mean that it's just going to go down forever, right? This is like the emotion in crypto is crazy. It's like every time you get a pullback, people are like, oh my God, it's all over, right? And they've said that every single time. And I'm not saying you're saying this, brother, but, it's, oh my God, bear market. Oh my God, bear market, right? Oh my God, bear market. What happens? New high, new high, new high. So just be aware of that, right? But anyway, let's jump on into Ethereum real quick. And what happens if we do get a bigger correction here on Ethereum? Well, guys, we cannot, just ignore the fact that Ethereum has approached its major. I mean, we hit our major macro target here, which was sitting right here, 47.51. If you guys saw that market update that we dropped, looking at this being the next target, what happens? We push into it and we're getting resistance. A lot of people will say, oh my God, new all-time highs, right? Which could be possible, right? But you have to be able to endure some pullbacks before seeing that happen. Again, weekly money flow crossover into the green is very bullish, in my opinion, in the long term, but that does not mean that you can't see pullbacks. And I talked to the premium Discord about this earlier today. If you're new to trading, if you're new to the charts, if you're new to crypto, you might hear somebody say, hey, money flow's crossing into the green. This is a mega bullish sign. You can never just take that as, without having a full understanding of how the charts move. This does not mean instant up, as I've said many a times before, right? The money flow indicates the overall trend. You could see your VWAP is approaching the zero line. If we print this red down the weekly, I would expect a pullback, right? It does not mean, oh my God, money flow is crossing over into the green and now we're pushing back. Oh my God, and now we're going to zero, right? You have to anticipate the cool-offs before continuing the overall trend. Money flow indicates the overall trend, not the ebbs and flows in the market. It's the same thing on the 2-day. I cover this almost every day, so I apologize if this is repetitive for some people, but I have to cover it for the new people. Money flow crosses into the green here. And even as money flow is trending up, you can identify that as, hey, the likelihood of a bullish continuation here of the trend is very likely. But it doesn't mean that as soon as that money flow crosses into the green that you have to go up in a straight line. Our thesis here, once that money flow crossed over into the green, and as a matter of fact, as we were coming up, was, hey, break above this value area low. The fill of this volume profile is very likely. These volume profiles have like about an 80% chance of filling in full once you get above that value area low, as long as your money flow is not fighting against you, right? Obviously, if it's fighting against you, you have to understand that like it's resistance until proven otherwise. Then you see the fill. And what was happening here? Money flow crossing into the green, right? What was happening here? Well, money flow peaked out and came down. So when you see that, right, this pullback is like, oh my God, what the heck? I thought money flow was crossing up. I thought that was bullish. It's like, you got to take a deep breath. You got to zoom out. You got to get off the 5-minute chart, right? It's okay to have the pullback, but the anticipation, the thing the money flow does for you is it gives you the filter to understand on whether you should be looking for buy the dip opportunities or if you should be looking for continuations down. And when the 2-day money flow crosses over into the green, you're looking for lackluster pullbacks, higher lows, and higher highs. And especially once you're inside this profile, you're already seeing that there's a very high probability that you fill that range in full. And we talked about this even down here at $1,300. So yeah, we've seen that play out, right? It's the same thing up here when you jump up to the higher time frame on the weekly. It's like, well, hey, we have weekly money flow crossing into the green, but that does not mean instant up. If that red dot prints, right, just like on the 2-day, what happened? Where did we get the pullback from? Well, money flow crossing into the green, but what do we get here? A red dot. What do we get? A pullback. But money flow continued trending to the upside, giving you that bullish continuation. Same thing on the weekly. Weekly money flow crosses into the green. That's beautiful, but it doesn't mean you're never going to pull back again. But a lot of people just want to come into crypto. They see the pump, they get in at the top, and they think like, oh my God, this is it. We're breaking out. I'm going to get rich, right? But they don't have an overall understanding of how the market moves. So just to have you guys prepared, we've hit the key target. Pullbacks from here are very likely. We've already gotten one. But if we do get that weekly red dot, right, we could continue that bigger pullback. And I would say, until we wind up losing Let me pull up the Fibonacci retracement here real quick. We do have the fib pulled from the higher low all the way to the high here. Golden pocket. This would still technically be a healthy pullback into the golden pocket at about $3,000. 2 daily MPOCs, golden pocket. A lot of people will be saying this is over. Oh my God, fake out, no new all-time high. And could it be the case? Maybe, right? I can't say it's impossible for that to be the case. But, from my perspective, right, from a TA perspective, from a chart perspective, it's like this is just a pullback, right? And a healthy pullback at that for a potential higher low and a higher high. Well, why would we look for higher lows? Well, your money flow is coming into the green. So if that red dot gives you a big pullback, this will be a huge level to look at on Ethereum over the long term. About $3,000. It really comes in between about 31.41 all the way down to about 3,033. And then, for me personally, it wouldn't really be, I wouldn't expect to like really nuke down out of this range and come down to like much lower prices until we lost that 786 at about 26.90. And why is that? Well, if we're looking for higher lows and higher highs, where's that likely to come in at? Probably the golden pocket or the 786. Once you lose this 786, I'd be looking to break this structure down here, which would pretty much be losing the value area low. And if you can't hold that, then maybe we can look for much lower prices and we'd have to reassess the situation. But like, you just got to be prepared for these pullbacks, guys. It's like a lot of people got scared on this Ethereum pullback here. I mean, this was rightfully so, a 26% pullback. But when you understand the context of the market, you're not going to get fear down here. You're going to look for it to be a buy the dip situation to fill the rest of that range. And again, it played out perfectly. So there you go. Those are the big macro levels to look at on Ethereum, right? Now, locally, we do still have some really key support up here, right? We have the 786, right? Now, this was obviously resistance. The macro 786 pulled from the 2021 high all the way to the low, hit down, hit down, hit down. We have now cracked above that. I've shown this. I showed this yesterday, I believe. When we look at this from a Bitcoin perspective, this is the same kind of Fibonacci retracement from the high to the low. That 786 on Bitcoin was right here, right after we filled that same volume profile that Ethereum just filled. You get above the low, look to fill the range in full. We get above that value area high. You get above that 786. This is your doorway to new all-time highs. I know we put a new all-time high in here, but I'm talking about big boy all-time highs like this. Once you get above that, what happens, right? It's never just, and again, it's never going to be like this, right? It's not just like once you break this level, you just buy and then you get rich overnight, right? You have to understand that there's going to be choppiness, right? Bitcoin breaks above the 786. We retest it. We lose it. We reclaim it. We lose it again. We reclaim it. But eventually, once you hold support there, you're looking for that new all-time high. And money flow is in the green on the weekly. All right, so it's very similar to what we're seeing on Ethereum here. So again, it's almost the same exact situation. Same exact volume profile as well. Pulled from the 2021 bull market, right? Here. Tap your head, fill it. We broke down below. Break above it, fill it. Now we're approaching that 786. So just be aware. This does come in at about 4,023. It doesn't mean you can't come down and play around, maybe retest the value area high again, which brings me to our next major level of support, which obviously sits here at the value area high. If we lose this 786, guys, this is the biggest level to watch, sitting at about 35.30, huge level of support. Right? Doesn't mean that if you lose it, you have to go to zero, right? We still have these big key levels down here. But, if we're not going to go back down there to retest these key levels and we lose the 786, retest of the range high could be in the cards, right? And if I go back over to Bitcoin, you can see we literally did the exact same thing here. Get above, bounce, bounce. What happens? Retest that value area high of the previous range right here. Retest it, and then we sent it up. So when I say that that's a key level on Ethereum, like there's a reason for it, right? Definitely a key level. 35.30. I'm sorry. Let me zoom in here a little bit. Sitting at 35.50, right, is that value area high. Yeah, 35.30 is the value area high, but you do have some tap levels here as well. So, might not hit to the dollar, but 35.30 is the technical value area high. So if we do lose that and we play around a little bit, there's some effery in the market. This is the biggest level of support until we break back down into the range. Once we lose that value area high, that's where I expect the $3,000 level to get tapped. And then hopefully we can bang back out of there. If not, we can look back down to the 786. And then this is a huge line in the sand for me personally. Right? It's not that we're just bullish forever, right? You start losing those key levels, and there's a reason to look for a crack out of here, right? We're going to have to look for that. But that level's all the way down here. So hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully that wasn't too confusing. And hopefully comparing that to Bitcoin, it's like it's the same exact situation. Same exact situation, right? Doesn't mean it has to play out exactly the same, but, this is what makes me feel, any pullbacks, right? Money flow, multiple things pointing here towards a potential retest and a higher high. All right, let's see. Yo, shout out to Panda the Prophet said, all I heard Frankie say was go get a McDonald's application. Get the apps out, guys. We're all going back to work. Unbelievable. Bull market's canceled, guys. But anyway, let's see. Shout out to Cherry City Bullies. Hey, shout out to, hey, bro, you selling dogs? You selling dogs? But what is going on, man? Thank you for that super chat. I appreciate you so much. He says, can we take a look at Colonel Dow. Maybe that's how you say it. On the 8 hour, please and thank you. Shout out to Cherry City Bullies. Yes, we will try to take a look at that. If we have time, I will try to get to that. I appreciate the super chat. Please, reminder, guys, please do not super chat your altcoins. I mean, you can, as I always say, but it does not guarantee that we're going to have time to get to it. But if we can, I will try to take a look at that for you. No problemo. Yo, shout out to eBug said, no, Panda, no, just short. Yes, absolutely. There's no McDonald's applications here, guys. We'll just make money on the way down. When you know what to look for those pullbacks, there indeed is money to be made, right? Even on the local pullback here. There's a long position in the premium Discord, and then the short position. We bang it on the way up, bang it on the way down, baby. Let's go. We're banging all over the place. Anyway, let's continue on. Let's see. I don't want to scrub toilets again. Shout out to Dawn. Oh, God. It's all over, guys. It's all over. But real quick, let's take a quick look at Cardano here, which is, like you guys were saying in the chat, attempting to hold up strong here above the value area low. So biggest key level of support here. Let me just readjust this box to make it nice and clean. Value area low sitting at about 89 cents. That is going to be your key level of support. As long as you remain above this value area low, the doorway to your point of control does stay open. POC sits at about $1.21, so hold above the value area low. Doorway to that POC remains open. However, if Bitcoin goes for the bigger pullback, we could very well lose this value area low, so just to be aware of that. If you lose that value area low, biggest key level down below does remain here, the same level that we looked at yesterday, which is why I'm not going to spend a ton of time on the altcoins today, is because all these levels remain the same. Value area high sitting at 83 cents. Once we break down below there, we have some very, very, very big support levels sitting down here. Golden Pocket POC sitting at 72 cents to 68 cents. POC, Golden Pocket Confluence. So if we stay up here and we're able to hold support, doorway does remain open to the POC. If Bitcoin decides to dump, we lose this value area low. Value area high below at 83 cents is the next level to look at. And if you can't hold that, once you get accepted into this value area, where is the next likely place for price to go? Well, it's going to be that POC. It's the same thing up here. Deviate above the high, get back into the range, bearish retest, can't break out. Next likely place for price to go, gonna be that point of control. It's the same thing on the way back down, but it is nice that we have the Golden Pocket Confluence here. So just keep that on your charts. And then if we lose that golden pocket, at the end of the day, it wouldn't, in my opinion, even be the worst thing in the world to come back down to this value area low because of the 786 confluence. Now, this is the Fibonacci retracement pulled all the way from the low here in June, all the way to the high. So this would be the lowest I would want that retracement to come. Once we break below that 786, we're going to be looking for, crack a structure to the downside from all the way here at 50 cents, which could get you accepted into this much bigger volume profile, which would call for much lower prices. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Biggest macro levels on Cardano, 72 to 68 cents, and then down here, 62 to 60 cents, right? Not only just the key levels, but the context as well, and why I do not want to lose this zone. It's not just like, oh my God, we're losing. If we lose this key level of support, it's not that bad, right? Because you have a very good contextual level of support down below. And even if you lose this, contextually, this is an area where you can get the bounce. Once you lose this, you're looking to crack that structure to the downside, which at the same time could get you accepted into this lower profile. But again, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. But all those key levels remain exactly the same. When we take a look at market cipher, you do have the 4-hour green dot looking to print, very similar to Bitcoin. This is obviously going to track along with what Bitcoin does. If Bitcoin gets the yeet on up, right, from our local level of support here, if we're able to hold this value area low and just send it into new all-time highs, right, Cardano may be able to follow that. But again, if Bitcoin gets that dump, those are the biggest key levels I'll be watching, right? So value area high, if we lose this low, value area high, lose the value area high, looking down here. So there you go. And again, taking a look at the higher time frames, right? VWAP here coming down, right? We're actually getting nice support on the 0 line. But if that VWAP gives you the red dot here on the 6-day, even the 5-day starting to roll over here as well. These red dots would give you ebbs or flows to the downside, but money flow is still coming to the upside. So the longer-term trend could still continue to the upside. So there you go. That's what I'll be looking at on Cardano. Solana, still not much to update here. Taking a look, right? We got the bounce off of our golden pocket. We had the will it break level up here. I think we actually had will it break, right? Looking for the low, high, higher low, higher high. We did crack that structure, but we failed it, right? We came back down. But we did get that crack structure to the upside. Shows you the importance of understanding the context of your Fibonacci retracements. And I would say the biggest levels on Solana to look at right now, we've already lost this golden pocket, so I'm going to go ahead and take that off the chart. I would say, you're bouncing off the value area low, so this zone right here, this is support. 184.19 to 181.34. If you have to come back down, the level you don't really want to break locally here is the 786 at 181. 181.34. Once you lose that, I am probably going to be, I would more anticipate a push down towards, you have your bigger golden pocket sitting here. So if you lose that 786, I'm looking down here between these two daily MPOCs, which is also confluent with a golden pocket, sitting between 176.69 and 172.80. And then once you lose that golden pocket, hopefully you can get the bounce, get back into the range, and target the POC. But if you lose that golden pocket, biggest level right now will be the 786 value area high at 166.83. Once you get accepted back in here, guys, that's where we can look for the bigger move to the downside. But we still have support down below. I'm not going to cover every single level lower, but these are going to be the biggest local levels, right? If you're looking for your, if I pull this fib from the low to the high, you're hoping your last line, your last level to put the higher low and the higher high in to continue your uptrend would be that 786. Lose it, probably coming down to your next big level. Can't hold the golden pocket. Look down towards the 786, which is confluent with the value area high. These are the three biggest levels on Solana. Once you lose this value area high, which hopefully, if we do have to see a move down there, hopefully this anchored VWAP can cook its way up to be confluent with that level. That would be very, very nice confluence. 786 value area high, anchored VWAP. Very, very big level to look at. Once you lose that, probably looking much lower. So there you go. That's what I'd be looking at on Solana. Same levels we've been looking at. Actually, I think this level is new, the local level. So there you go. So what do we take a look at? Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, Cardano. I would take a look at XRP, but guys, XRP literally is in the same spot. And again, just kind of shows why I'm not spending a ton of time on the altcoins here. Literally nothing to update here. We're just still chopping around, right? Contextually, we got the bounce off our local golden pocket. I would say once you lose this anchored VWAP here sitting at about 298, once you lose this, can't get back above it, that's where you're looking for the bigger drop down. I wouldn't expect the golden pocket to hold up as support a second time. So I would mostly be targeting between 250 and 260, where we have a macro golden pocket, the 786 of this fib pull locally, and we have a daily MPLC, and we have the value area high. Right, so we might have to come down here, retest that range high. Definitely a big key level of support. Again, sitting between 250 and 260. So biggest level in XRP remains exactly the same, 250 to 260. Not too shabby. But I would say the level to lose is getting stuck under this anchored VWAP. That would probably indicate the probability of coming down there. That would make the probability much higher, in my opinion. Can you hold the golden pocket for a second time? I guess. But this is not really what I look for. When you're looking for a low, a high, a higher low, and a higher high, you want that first tap of the golden pocket to be the low, right? And then you want to crack that structure to the upside. If you're unable to do that, right, I'm not expecting that golden pocket to hold up very well the second time. Maybe get a little bounce, but I would more likely be looking at 250 to 260. So there you go. Quick and dirty on XRP, baby. Let's go. Let's see. Shout out to Kulot dropping those candles in the chat, baby. Let's go. Mafia for life, baby. Mafia for life. Shout out to Flatsmack said, let's take a look at ADA. Shout out to Flatsmack. I assume you just tuned in. Scrub back. We just looked at Cardano like 30 seconds ago. Shout out to Flatsmack, our resident bull, baby, along with me. Let's see. Shout out to Nick. Says, let's go, Frankie. You're a life changer. Shout out to Nick. I love it, baby. I love it. Thank you for saying that, man. That keeps me going, baby. That keeps me coming up here on these live streams every day. It's the comments like that, man. I really hope I can make it to a meetup if the CandleMafia has one. Shout out to Satoshi Glakamoto. Let's go, baby. Welcome in, bro. One of the best names out there, Satoshi Glakamoto. Yes, OG of the CandleMafia, bro. We're thinking maybe, maybe 100K subs. Maybe the next Bitcoin conference we'll do a meetup or something like that. That'd be super cool. I'll probably never leave that meetup. We'll be hanging out there. We'll rent some spot out, and we'll shut them down for sure. Doge, we could take a look at Doge. Shout out to Gen Z says, do good coins. Zeus, let's go. Shout out to Gen Z. We'll try to take a look at Zeus for you, brother. I'll write that down. Let's see. Shout out to Satoshi Stacker, not to be confused with Satoshi Glakamoto. Thank you for the super chat, bro. He says, PSA, smash the like button for the man dropping that fire sauce. I appreciate you, Frankie. Thanks for doing what you do. Shout out to Satoshi. Hey, guys. Gosh, guys. Shucks. Shout out to Satoshi Stacker. Thank you for saying that, bro, and thank you for the super chat. And we're going to keep doing what we're doing, baby. We're going to stay here forever. I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving. Let's go. Shout out to Satoshi Stacker. I appreciate you, man. Let's see. All right, let's continue on. Thanks for the TA, Frankie. Shout out to Isaac. Hey, guys. Come on. They're being so nice. You guys are being so nice. But anyway, let's continue on here. Let's take a look at what was next here. Dogecoin. Let's take a look at Dogecoin. Yeah, this is clearly going to zero, guys. No, I'm just kidding. Let's take a look here. I mean, at the end of the day, will it break? We have our will it break level here, which is still potentially valid, right? We're still holding our low here on the golden pocket. Let me just take this off the chart to clean things up. Anchored VWAP. We're holding the anchored VWAP as support as of right now. 16-hour money flow does look a little suspicious, but key levels here on Dogecoin all remain the same. We are inside our macro volume profile with our value area low at about 17 cents, POC sitting at about 26 cents, and then your value area high is sitting up here at 18 cents, confluent with your 786 and your golden pocket with a weekly MPOC in there as well. I would say, in general, the biggest level to hold here as support is going to be this level here, which is the 786 value area low. When you have your low, your high, this is an area where you can put in the higher low for a break of structure to the upside, very similar to what we saw on Solana. I mean, literally the exact same thing that we saw on Solana. Low, high, higher low, higher high. We did get that. It's the same theory here. So still open door, right? And you're above your value area low, right? So, door to the POC and potentially beyond is still technically open. Now, that's not to say that if Bitcoin dumps, Dogecoin won't follow. But from a technical perspective here, still hold on top of that anchored VWAP. It wouldn't be until we broke down below that anchored VWAP that I would be expecting a bigger drop to the downside, right? Get below that anchored VWAP. If you can't break back above it, again, just like XRP, I would not expect that golden pocket to hold up a second time, in which case I'd be looking down towards the value area low, 786. And honorable mention here, you do have a daily MPOC sitting at 18 cents. So again, like the theory there is low, high, higher low, higher high. If the higher low does not come in on your golden pocket, it could potentially come in on the 786. Assuming that you don't get the early bounce off that daily MPOC. But at that point, it's like maybe you just fake out the daily MPOC, tap the 786, and then reclaim for the move up. And yeah, I mean, until we lose this zone here, value area low 786, I would, you're just within your profile, right? If you break down below that, well, what are we looking for? Break of structure down here, right? About 14 cents. Look to continue down there. So that's what I look at. You do have a weekly MPOC just underneath that at about 12 cents. But again, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. We're still pretty far away, if I'm being totally honest. So yeah, now you're just within your profile here. It's not until we break down out of that range where I would be a little bit more worried. Money flow, 16-hour looking a little suspicious. Daily money flow looks pretty healthy. You do have the daily red dot. And again, everything is going to follow Bitcoin for the most part, so I'm not going to break down market cipher too much because everything looks the same here. 2-day money flow crossover helped us identify the continuation up here. It's the same thing, right? That 2-day red dot prints, maybe you have to go down for a little bit more of a retracement, but the overall anticipation off that money flow would be low, high, higher low, higher high. So there you go. That's what I look at on Dogecoin. So there we go. Whoops, don't want to move that. Let me come on here. Current price action. Shout out to Crypto Billy in the chat. What is going on, Billy? Welcome in, brother. Welcome in. Shout out to Akbari says, rumor says Trump and Putin was good. So bullish, question mark. I hope so. That'd be nice. Maybe that'll help our low come in on Bitcoin on our value area low locally here instead of coming down to the golden pocket. But again, I'm not FOMO longing or anything, right? I'm just going to let my long from lower ride out. It's not until I hit my key level, right? Like if I were looking at this from a binary perspective, right? Let's just say I was looking at this, take the volume profile off the chart. Where's my key level? My key level's down here. It has not been tapped yet. So it doesn't mean you can't front run it and send it. But for me personally, 9 out of 10 times, I'm going to wait for those key levels to get hit unless I have a really specific reason to take a long position early. And you do have local support down here. But again, with all these key levels down here, I would much rather get that tapped. If we don't tap it and we front run it, again, I'm covered with that long position. I'll just let that continue to pay me out. So yeah. Let's see. Shout out to Wazoo said, what about Bitcoin dominance? We actually took a look at Bitcoin dominance. If you scrub back to the beginning, we took a look at Bitcoin, and I think we went right into Bitcoin dominance. So we did take a look at Bitcoin dominance. Overall, looks bearish. Short term, maybe a little bullish, which could continue these pullbacks we just looked at on the altcoins. But again, overall anticipation on dominance would be that the trend will likely continue down. Even if we have to bounce back up, like somebody said in the chat, into the mid-60s, right? Where's it at? Boom, right? Even if we had to get that bounce into this Fibonacci retracement, it's just very similar to what we've seen in the past, right? Lose the range, back into the POC. Oh my God, no alt season, right? But eventually, money flow was the thing that was indicating the eventual continuation and breakdown of that range. It just could take some time here. And at the end of the day, I mean, hey, maybe alt season is canceled, right? But that's just not what's showing here on the charts. But don't get scared. If you push back up in here, oh my God, no alt season. Like if we push, especially if we pull back all the way here to this Fibonacci retracement, the sentiment's going to be crazy, guys. It's going to be like, you'll see. You'll see. Told you guys no alt season, right? Like, it's going to be crazy. And at the end of the day, could they be right? Yes, but they would be going against the charts, and that's just something I don't do. Doesn't mean they can't be right and the charts are wrong. But more often than not, you know, I say this almost every single stream. Right here. Oh, my God, guys. Everyone's like, alt season. And I'm just like, it's not on the chart. It's not on the chart. Could they be right that alt season's coming? Maybe. But, you know, in my opinion, this shows me that we're going to flip support and push into that POC. Right? So, again, charts are right. And that'll happen about, you know, I would say maybe 8 out of 10 times. You know, one day it'll be wrong. But it's just, yeah, I'm just never going to fade the charts. But here, right, they might be saying the same thing. They might, instead of saying, like, alt season incoming, they're saying no alt season ever. Right? But what are we seeing? Money flow in the charts are looking for the continuation down. So just taking that contrarian view. Not just based off my emotion or what I want to happen. Obviously, I want my altcoins to pump, but it has nothing to do with that. It has everything to do with what's on the chart here. So locally bullish potentially with this bull div. So be aware of the pull up, the push back up and the pullback on altcoins. But overall, trend would likely continue down based off money flow. Let's see. Yo, we got Golden in the chat. Shout out to Golden. Welcome in, bro. Welcome in. Drop that golden emoji. I already see you guys already pulling up that golden emoji. Let's go. Shout out to Golden. Welcome in, bro. Always happy to have you in here. Let's see. Shout out to Vegas Claw. Dutchy, you know Frankie's the kind of guy who wears his Mickey Mouse ears 2 days after getting home from Disney World. Really, really funny, bro, because I actually thought about you, Vegas Claw. You might think, you know, Frankie doesn't care, right? I mean, I don't think anybody thinks that. But I went to the Braves game last weekend, and I woke up the next day. I'm not even lying to you, bro. And I had my my wristband on. And I looked at it, and I'm like, Frankie Candle's the kind of guy to go to a Braves game and keep the wristband on for 2 days. Unbelievable, Vegas Claw. You crack me up, bro. Let's see. Let's continue on. The dollar amount of my portfolio indicates whether or not it's alt season. Shout out to Satoshi Glakamoto. It very likely will, right? When your altcoins are just like 2 and 3xing constantly, every time you refresh your page, you're up more money. That is what altcoin season feels like, guys. Like, you will feel that euphoria, right? I mean, we even saw like some of the pump that we've already seen, and all we saw was this. Imagine if it's something like that. That's where you're going to see all that stuff start to rip to the upside. So there you go. All right, let's take a quick look at Zeus. Did I spell that right? That's not how you spell Zeus. How do you spell Zeus? Actually, no. Actually, hang on. Let's take a look at... yeah, I don't know. I'm just going to write this in. Oh, come on. Colonel Dow. I don't know what this chart's going to look like. Let's take a look at the Coinbase chart. Yeah, this is going to be hard, right? I don't have any high time frame sentiment on this, right? Like, you could say your VWAP's coming up on the 2-day, but I have no money flow read here. Like, barely on the daily. You have your daily money flow coming into the green. Yeah, it's just like really hard. There's not a lot of price history here. What I can do is I'll give you some quick levels here on Colonel Dow. So I will pull this volume profile real quick. I'm going to go over this very briefly. Value area high, POC, value area low. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, this would be the only area of value that I could see personally, based off the very little price action that we have. So I would look at that. Value area high sitting at 19 cents, POC at 17 cents, value area low at 15 cents. And then, yeah, I mean, there's just not a lot to go off of here, to be quite honest. Like, you can even take a look at the MPOCs. No new monthlies, no weeklies. Yeah, I mean, I'll pull some of these, right? Locally, you do have a daily MPOC right here. You do have one down here. And you do have one down here, right? So you do have a little bit of confluence on these volume profile levels. You got your value area low daily MPOC. You have your POC daily MPOC. I'm sorry, daily MPOC value area low, POC daily MPOC. And then you have a naked daily MPOC up here. Try to pull a fib from the impulse to the high. Change this to entry zone. Already bounced. Yeah, I don't know if this is going to hold up a second time around. So I would say if you break back down, I'm going to take the golden pocket off the chart because we're already tapping it. I would say your key level locally right now on Colonel Dow is going to be the value area high. If you break back into the value area high, just look at the volume profile, honestly. You have confluence here on the 786 POC with the daily MPOC. Very nice. Break back into your volume profile. Next likely place for price to go, probably going to be that POC, especially with all the confluence, right? And then if you're unable to break and get if you're unable to get the big bounce from the 786 and you lose this, you're just going to look for the full fill of the range back down to the value area low daily MPOC at about 15 cents. So yeah, unfortunately, I wish I could give like higher time frame sentiment here, but I just literally have no information to base it off of on Market Cipher. So those are the key levels I would look at. And for what it's worth, daily money flows in the green. 16-hour money flow looks very similar to a lot of the other altcoins. It's coming out, right? This could indicate a continuation down, and these are the biggest levels of support that I would be watching. So shout out to Cherry City Bullies. There you go. Hopefully it helps you out, brother. And shout out to Jury. Thank you for getting that membership. Welcome to the muscle, my friend. Thank you for doing that. And welcome to the Mafia. Now you can never leave. Anyway, we're not a cult, guys. CandleMafia is a friendly group of like-minded crypto individuals, traders at that. We're not a cult. Hashtag not a cult. I know we light candles and we do some ceremonies sometimes, but it's not a cult. Anyway, let's continue on. Let's see. My youngest daughter left for college today. I really need an alt season soon. Shout out to Moboy. Let's go. Let's do it for Moboy. Let's do it for Moboy, baby. Let's see. Hashtag not a cult. That's what I love to see, baby. When the bull market is over, I'll take a 3-year vacation. Shout out to Gear. Yeah, next bear market, guys, I will always be here. But I do plan on, in the next bear market, taking some kind of a vacation. First vacation in probably 3 years. Legitimate vacation. So, yeah, I mean, we'll always be here. I'll probably be, like, on a beach somewhere or on a boat somewhere, dropping market updates. But for the most part, I will be looking to take some kind of a break in the next bear market. But it is hard, right? Because I as a trading channel, right, we're like double duty here. We're either making money on the way up, and then the bear market comes, and it's basically another bull market because we get shorted on the way back down. So, yeah, it's just kind of just like full-time grind on the way up and the way down. But I will try to take some time off. But we will catch, hopefully we'll catch a nice short position, and then I'll go on a 2-week vacation or something, and we'll come back, and hopefully it's in massive profit. But there you go. Let's see. INJ, yes, we could. Shout out to Suncoast says, I joined for the cult activities. Let's go. We don't sacrifice anything except for bears, guys. I'm just kidding. I love animals. All right, anyway, let's take a look at INJ real quick. Let's take a look. All right, so this is not going to be any different than when we looked at INJ either yesterday or the day before we looked at it. Let's see. You got your golden pocket from the low to the high. So, yeah, I mean, next key level of support is obviously going to be, now we do have this macro value area high marked out on the chart, obviously. And that is this value area high. And we all know, let me just clean that up a bit, right? Well, hey, you're deviating above your high. If you're unable to reclaim support up here and you lose this level, where are we going to be looking, right? Well, you can look for this golden pocket, but at that point, right, you do have to be a bit careful because if you get that bounce, you might get accepted into your range, right? Could be pushing down towards the 786. Yeah, it's a little, let me pull up the local range because this is a little bit better in my opinion, right? Because when you look at that golden pocket confluence on this value area high, if you can't get out of that macro value area, this would be a big level. You might want to retest this range before getting a bounce. If you get accepted below the golden pocket, you're obviously going to be looking at that 786 next. If you get the bounce off the 786, you just got to be careful around that value area high. So be a huge key level to get above. And then you also got to get above the macro value area high. So if you bounce off the 786, you have a lot of resistance to get above. But it is there, right? If you're going to look for a continuation here, I would say this is definitely the first place to look, right? Lose this, that would be your next place to look. And then once you lose that 786, I'm looking to come back down deeper into the profile, POC at $12, lose the POC, come down to the value area low at $11.31. So if you want this range on your chart, Value area low 1131, PLC $12, value area high 1359. And again, the value area high has confluence on the golden pocket, and then the 786 right now has confluence on the 786, but that will not be the case if price comes back down. I would assume if we get the drop down here, you have a much better chance of having the anchored VWAP confluent with that golden pocket than the 786. So I don't really love this 786, to be honest, because there's just not a lot of confluence. If we push down here and the anchored VWAP pulls up, you have 3 levels of confluence on that value area high. Value area high, golden pocket, anchored VWAP. Right? If you come to the 786 after that, right, you lose the anchored VWAP. There's nothing here but the 786. Doesn't mean you can't bounce there, but it's just like typically not looked at as a stronger level just because you don't have any confluence. This would be much stronger, in my opinion, right? I'll lose the 786, look to potentially fill that profile. And then these 2 anchored VWAPs, if you guys want to get them on your chart, one is pulled from the low here in June, and then the other one is pulled here from the low in April. 2 very important anchored VWAPs in my own personal opinion. And the hope here is that when you come down to those anchored VWAPs, they are confluent with some of these levels. Maybe if you lose this golden pocket and this anchored VWAP, you have the lower anchored VWAP confluent with the 786, in which case you could look at that as a bigger level, right? But one thing I could say for sure is once you lose that 786, I am 100% going to be looking down towards at least the PLC at $12, if not the value area low at 1131. Take a look at Market Cipher. Daily red dot printing, I mean, it all looks the same. Daily red dot printing, potential daily bearish divergence printing, right? So this looks the same as everything else. I'll save you the repetitiveness. So there we go. Let's take a look here. Yo, shout out to Dawn, said, make sure to get your hashtag no cult headgear, hashtag hats. Shout out to Dawn. Let's go. On the back, guys, it says hashtag not a cult. Candle cult is crazy, Panda Profit. But anyway, guys, to be honest, I think we should move into the giveaways here. We're almost at 7 o'clock, and maybe if we have time after the giveaways, I'll go over some other altcoins. But again, I wasn't going to spend a lot of time on the altcoins because, again, I don't want to sit up here and just repeat myself time and time again. I would rather just give the things that have changed on Bitcoin, and then if you've tuned into any of these live streams, we look at 20 altcoins a day. And yeah, so we'll give it a little bit of a rest here, and we'll see what we get over the weekend. But just keep an eye on Bitcoin, guys, because we are coming down to some pretty key levels of support. Show me the money. Shout out to Jury. Let's go, baby. I would show you the money, but I don't have it here on the desk. All I have is a single AirPod, probably the 17th pair that I've had, because if there's one thing that I'm good at other than trading, it's losing stuff. So there you go. But anyway, let's start these giveaways, guys. And I am actually, maybe we'll take a look at one more altcoin because we're going to have to do the giveaways. Let me see what you guys want in the chat. Do you want to I could probably assume how this is going to go. Do you guys want to do the giveaways today, or do you want to do a double giveaway next week? Because Tony D is traveling. He's the one that usually pulls the winners. I could do it the old way, but it's up to you guys. If you guys want to do a double giveaway next week, or if you want to do it the old school way, but then you guys are going to have to go comment on a video, which, we'll see. 10 bags. We got 10 bags of Cardano, baby. Nightbot be nice. Shout out to Hollywood. Well, you'll be happy to know that Nightbot is not going to be here today. We might have to do it the old school way. So drop a, shout out to Peter, said, love you, Frankie. I love you back, Peter. Shout out to TDK, said, even on low volume, Frankie is stupid loud. Shout out to TDK. That is factual. Please today, let's go today, old school, today. Okay. All right. This is what I assumed was going to happen. All right. So give me 1 second here, guys, to figure out which video you should go to, because I can't pull the winners unless there's comments, and I do want to give people a chance to enter here. So let's do it on, the all-time high showdown video. It was a market update. Go ahead and drop a comment and a like on that video, and you'll be entered into the giveaway. And I'll give you guys a few minutes to do that. Maybe we'll take a look at one more altcoin while we do that. Give you guys some chances to get in there, and then we will pull them the old school way. Let me pull up giveaway picker. Bada boom. Pickawinner.com. What a great name. All right, so there we go. Go drop that. We pumping? Shout out to Frozen. Shout out to you, brother. I don't know if I guess that was a question. Okay, she's pushing. Bounce. Oh, there she goes, baby. There she goes. Bouncing off that previous value area low. Where's it at? There it is. POC coming up next. This POC is sitting at about $18,000. Current range POC, sitting at $18,300. So we'll see. Can we make it? Can we make it? Let's see. Shout out to Rob the Crypto Snob. Happy birthday, bro. Someone told me it was your birthday today. Genuinely. Happy birthday, bro. I hope you have the best day ever. Now we're like never going to. Every time Rob's like, it's actually my birthday, I'm like, you sure? Shout out to Rob the Crypto Snob. Good energy, Frankie. Shout out to Cal. I appreciate that. I'm not going to lie. I'm running on fumes right now. So I appreciate that extra today. Dawn said, which video did he say? It is the all-time high showdown market update. You will see it. It says all-time high showdown on the thumbnail. All right, so let me see here. I'm just going to pick Zeus. Shout out to Gen Z. We'll take a look at Zeus. All right, let's take a look here. I think we do have a Zeus chart. Bybit Perpetual. That's not it. Gonna take me a second to find it. It can't be the OKX chart, right? I guess it is. All right. Oh man, shout out to Gen Z. Oh man. All right, well, TA played out, not in the direction that you would hope, but it did play out here. No hold, new lows. No hold, new lows. Right into the extension level as well. That's where you're getting the bounce of right now. So 11 cents on that Fibonacci extension. Well, hey, I mean, these are a little bit speculative in my opinion because you can't really look left for any kind of support, but you are holding that Fibonacci extension level, which is nice. You're getting some kind of a bounce here, but I'm sorry that you had to lose that Fibonacci retracement. And there's a reason, guys, why we say, like, when you don't hold these 786s, they are doorways to lower prices. Get stuck. But anyway, yeah, I mean, at this point, we could take this off the chart. Yeah, I mean, shout out to Gen Z here. Let's see. Yeah, daily red dot brought you down. You do have a daily bull div into that extension level, so you could potentially get a little bit of relief here, but I would still say the biggest level to get above, in my opinion, for Zeus, obviously you have your value area low here at 16, almost 17 cents. Once you reclaim that, you could potentially start to work your way back up through the profile here, push into the POC at 24 cents, value area high at 28 cents, flip that to support. It's just going to be a game of like reclaiming volume profiles and breaking out. But I would say, let me pull this fib from the high to the low. No confluence there. Let's pull it to the lower high. Yeah, I mean, Gen Z, I don't really know a lot about Zeus. But I would just be careful. Watch all your local Fibonacci retracements. I know you know how to pull these because you're in the premium Discord. So watch these, but I would still just say, like, over the long term, the biggest level to get back above to show some kind of a sign of strength would be this value area low at 16.168. Flip that to support, push it up to the POC and the value area high. So yeah, I mean, that's what I would really look for. I mean, as far as market cipher goes, 2-day money flow came back out here, obviously, on that last dump to the downside. I mean, this is still pretty flat. I don't see any aggressive curves up. 3-day, still kind of flat here. Red dot printing. I mean, let's take a look at the higher time frames. Yeah, potential 5-day bull div down here as well. But again, money flow still pretty thick in the red. It'd be nicer if you had the bull div with money flow like aggressively coming up. Like, even on the daily, if you had that daily bull div money flow coming up, but that is just not the case here. Money flow is coming out, so you definitely have to be careful. But you do have the daily bull div. That might be able to give you some kind of relief, and I would say the biggest level to watch for above is going to be that, almost 17-cent value area low. Once you flip that, show a little bit of strength there. Weekly, green dot looking to print as well. Maybe a weekly bull div could print here. It really depends. You'd have to start getting going pretty quickly to get this to snap back to the upside and give you a higher low. But yeah, I would just be careful. It's nice that you don't have a fresh weekly red dot, I'll say that, but still need this money flow to start coming back up, even here on the 3-day, locally trending down. So yeah, and I will give you the extension levels real quick. Let me get those extension levels back on the chart here. Next extension level, if you want to look at this, mark this off on your chart, 0.1091. That would be your next extension level. You can see you got some kind of reaction here. If you wind up putting in a lower high and breaking structure to the downside again, I would be looking at about 0.1091. And underneath that, 0.1032. Right? So Those are the next two key levels. Other than that, it's probably a waiting game here to see that money flow come back up. Locally, your 30-minute money flow is coming back up. Green dot looking to print on the 8 hours. So, yeah, short-term relief could be the case here. So, there you go. Shout out to Gen Z. Hopefully it helps you out, bro. Hopefully that thing can start getting a move back up. All right, let's see. All right, so let's go ahead and give away some money here, guys. Shout out to Erica. Said, oh, my God, why can't I find the video? When was it from? It was from August 13th. If you go to the channel, go to videos, it should be the last video other than the live streams. It is all-time high showdown with Bitcoin and Ethereum on the thumbnail. So I'll give you another minute. I'll give you another 45 seconds, Erica. Come on, baby. Come on. But I will jump into chat real quick while you guys are getting those last-minute likes in. Let's see. Oh, God, we need a Bible upon this chat now. Good Lord. Do I even want to scroll up? Putin, pump our bags. Let's go. Come on, Putin. You can do it, baby. You can do it. What is going on in chat here? Good Lord. I lose headphones as well. I'm on my 7th set at least. Shout out the jury. Yeah. Listen, AirPods, one of the best things to ever exist. But good Lord. Yeah, I'd be lying if I said I haven't lost 100 pairs of these. Unbelievable. Mrs. Candles is always like, oh, I found one of your AirPods. I'm like, cool. I already got another pair. So I actually have 2 pairs because I found one after I got the next pair. Let's see. Hopefully I win, so you answer my question in the comments. Shout out to Satoshi Glakamoto. Hit me with that question, baby. Hit me with that question. All right. So here we go. Let's go ahead, and I'm going to pull that link now. Let's take a look here. Bada boom. Paste it. Do not include replies. And let's see what we got here. Come on, baby. Come on. 295 comments. All right, so we got 10 bags of Cardano. Shout out to Tyler Durden, baby. Tyler, I'm not going to mess this up, bro. I'm not going to mess this up. Tyler's like, yeah, you are. But let's see. All right, winner number 1, baby. Who's it going to be? Who's it going to be? Here we go. Smash that like button to increase your chances, guys. I'm kidding. That's false advertisement. All right, here we go. Winner number 1, who's it going to be? Come on. Moss. I don't know how to say that. I'm going to call you Moss. Thank you, Frankie. Shout out to Moss. I appreciate you for being here, bro. You got a free bag of Cardano, and you're winner number 1, so you could say you came in first place here for the giveaways. Shout out to you, bro. Anyway, also, guys, if you win a giveaway, go to the free Discord, go to the Help Center to claim your prize. We will never ask you for seed phrases. I will never trade for you. Be careful of scammers, but go to the Help Center, and we're just going to ask for a place to send you the money. We'll never ask for seed phrase or anything like that. We'll never ask you to send us money either. Be careful out there. People actually do get scammed. I try to think to myself, like I don't know, like someone hits you up, is like, I'm going to turn your $100 into $10K every week for the rest of your life. And it's like, I always think to myself, like, how do people fall for this? But people fall for it, so be careful out there. The scammers are getting good, guys. Winner number 2, who's it going to be? Tony Roaz, let's go. Shout out to Tony Roaz. And Rosas. Hang on a second. Have I been saying his name wrong the whole time? Because I'm thinking like Tony return on ad spend. Maybe he's like an online advertiser or something like that. But shout out to Tony Rosas. Dude, I apologize for saying your name wrong all the time. But he says, yo, Frankie, let me get that bag, sir. Shout out to Tony Roaz. Let's go, baby. Rosas. I'm going to call you Tony Roaz, bro. I don't think I'll ever be able to fix it. But shout out to you, bro. You're getting a free bag of Cardano. You know what to do. You deserve it. Go claim it, baby. Let's go. Winner number 3, who's Golden Child. Yo, we're getting OGs in here. I love it. Shout out to Golden Child. Said, I did it, Mom. I told you your son was a winner and not just a D-Gen. Shout out to Golden Child. Hey, looks like maybe he's on a boat fishing. Shout out to Golden Child. Let's go. And hey, I know Golden abandoned you, but you're always here. You always have a home here in the CandleMafia, bro. So shout out to Golden Child. We appreciate you for being here, bro. You're winner number 3, and you can tell your mom you made it. You're a winner. Let's go. Winner number 4, who's it going to be? We're going to start quick drawing here. Get Robbed said, let's go. Shout out to Get Robbed. Hopefully you don't get robbed. And congratulations, you are winner number 4. Let's go. We're giving you a bag of Cardano. Hit that free Discord. Go to the Help Center to claim your prize number 5. Nexive says, let's go, baby. Well, let's go. On your way to win some Cardano. Your winner number 5, my friend. Hit that free Discord. Let's go. Winner number 6, Occupy Mars. Very nice video. Thank you very much, Mr. Elon Musk. We like that comment so much, we're going to give you some free money, baby. Hit that Discord. Let's go. Shout out to Occupy Mars. Let's get it. Winner number 7 is going to be Crypto Flamingo. Actually, nice video. Shout out to Crypto Flamingo. No problemo. We did it just for you to win this free Cardano. Let's go. You're winner number 7. Congratulations. I hope I'm not off count here. Tyler Durden is either going like, great job, or he's like, that's wrong. That's wrong. Shout out to Tyler. Shout out to Crypto Flamingo. You're getting some free Cardano, baby. Winner number 8. Who's it going to be? Zarar says, bing bong. I say, Ada. We're sending you some free money. You're winner number 8. Let's go. Shout out to Zarar. I don't know. I like that name. Shout out to Zarar. Congratulations. Winner number 9. Titan R says, let's see. Hey, there's only one let's see there. It's let's see. Shout out to Titan R. You're getting some free Cardano. You're winner number 9, scooting in there at the last moment. And we got our last winner, number 10. Who's it going to be? Gen Z says it's rigged, but he doesn't even know. He might be the next winner. Come on, Gen Z. We're rooting for you, bro. Zarar is 8. Rigged. Shout out to Jesse. Who's it going to be? Zarar. Yo, you guys are funny, man. All right, here we go. Titan is 9. Who's number 10? Hey, Tyler, I did it. Look at me, Tyler. I did it. Finally. Here we go. Winner number 10. Come on, Gen Z. We're rooting for you. Erica, we're rooting for you. Let's do it. Oh, it's Diaz. Hey, we're happy to give it to Diaz. Shout out to Diaz. Said, stop the shenanigans, Frankie, and just pump BTC and the alts to the moon already. Shout out to Diaz, bro. You've been here for so long. You deserve this Cardano bag. So shout out to you, man. You're winner number 10, scooting in there at the very, very last minute. So shout out to you, man. Shout out to all the winners. We got Top G in the chat, baby. Let's go. Welcome in, Top G. But unfortunately, we are coming to the end of the stream. But guys, with all that being said, K Diggity says it's Frankie's uncle. Surprise. I don't know what's going on in chat. Golden in the chat still. Let's go, baby. Golden Child keeps coming to my house, and he's trying to let me in. It's not that I don't want a house, Golden Child. I'm just not ready for a kid yet. He is kind of your kid. But I don't know. If you need me to take him, let me know. We'll take him in. But shout out to Golden. Shout out to Golden Child. But guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate you guys for sticking around to the end of the stream on this beautiful Friday night. And look at that, guys. We did a little bit of a shorter stream. We're going to the weekend. Maybe we see some crazy price action. If anything crazy happens, I'll update you guys here with a market update or maybe a live stream over the weekend. But yeah, watch those key levels. If you just tuned in, scrub back to the beginning of the stream to get all the key analysis, the next levels we're looking at for bounces, and hopefully Putin can send our bags to the moon here. So with all that being said, guys, that's all the time I got for tonight's live stream. Thank you for watching. Smash that like button on your way out. That's all I got. Hasta pasta. Frankie Candles out. Bing bong!
Look what's next for me, Joe. I'm gonna get that second bell. Where the f is it? They should have had them 2 bells ready. Spit shine for me.
Yeah. Head up in the clouds, though they saying I look stressed. I've been feeling down, pray to God that I'm up next. Remember when she blew me off, that's why I can't text. Now she call me petty, but I swear I can't forget. This ain't a test. Now they saying that I ball like Jerry West. Coming back for what is mine, can't take no less. I said go and take a shot, so I need your best. And stop the threats, don't know what is in me. I don't got time, I'm not giving the energy. Too many people around me, I'm finicky. I do not mess with you, dog, you're not kidding me. You don't got way too close. I've been up at the top now, so they all wait for the landslide. I seen too many people that switched up, whose man's high. Through it all, I stay the same, I swear to God, I can't lie. Been down so damn low that I came up for my life. They talk way too much on the internet, it's not real life. I swear my fam waiting, I can't lose, and I'm still right. I swear that I'm working, I'm up till like midnight. It's real life, I got a time and I'm coming to get mine. In time, I cannot lose and I'm coming right inside. I'm in my, yeah.
Shout out to Panda the Prophet, and more specifically, Panda the Prophet's girlfriend, who said, It just made her weekend that we ended early. She doesn't know Frankie Candles comes back on after the music. But shout out to Panda Prophet and your girl. Hey, Panda Prophet's girlfriend. I don't know what your name is. I assume your name is Kelly. But hey, enjoy your extra time with Panda Prophet. We love him, and thank you for sharing him with us. And shout out to Tony Rosas says, do we stop by your house to pick up the Ada? Yes, you guys will see it. It's the big house. It looks like a candle. It's shaped like a candle. We have a big fire at the top. You'll see it. It'll be very obvious. Just knock on the door, and I'll come out with your Ada. And it's actual physical Ada coin. So with all that being said, thank you guys for being here. I appreciate every single one of you, and I'll see you on Monday. Have a great weekend. Go touch some grass. You guys know I won't. Hasta pasta. Frankie Candles out. Bing bong!
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the road, here we go. Yeah, we winning by a landslide. Never see me coming, I'm a landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command like, yeah, you about to see me on demand like, you know on demand. If you ain't know, you about to understand. Yeah, I got the team by my side, right hand. Yeah, take it to a string, you ain't seen it like that. Yeah, and it's the dream, and we coming for the bag. Yeah, and we ain't never going back now. Future expedited, now we on the fast track now. They won't lend a hand, now they see us on the map now. It's time to act out. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the road, here we go, yeah, at the top of the class on a roll, ayy, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know, yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, yeah, on the road, here we go, here we go. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the road, here we go, yeah, at the top of the class on a roll, ayy, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know, yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, yeah, on the road, here we go, here we go. Here we go, on the road, here we go.